Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Jan, and in this video I want to tell you about the country I visited a few months ago. It's Portugal. It was a bit of a surprise. I really liked it there. I didn't think it would be that great, to be honest. Well, you know, it's like Portugal, like now European country. When I was thinking about it, and I thought, well, what else I'm going to see, what I haven't seen in other countries. So there was a little bit of a surprise what I found out there, and I want to share with you what exactly I really liked there, and also what I didn't like. And also it's a small report, how much we spent. So, where I'm going to start it? Well, I'll start with, we flew from London to Lisbon with British Airways. There are some other companies you can check who flies to Lisbon. I think it's quite a lot. I'm pretty sure Ryanair would fly to Lisbon, maybe EasyJet. I don't know, so you need to check. So why did we pick Lisbon? Okay, Lisbon because I really like to see historical sites, architecture. That's more important for me. I like it more than, for example, go to the beach and spend a week on the beach. No, I really like to explore different places and towns, cities, just everything. Also like mysteries and legends, all these kind of things. So that's why we kind of chose Lisbon, because, okay, I checked online, I saw what we can see there, and most of the places and the most things I wanted to see were not far from Lisbon. So that's why it was our first choice. So I would say, why would you want to go to Lisbon? Well, Lisbon, Portugal. Portugal is really great. It has everything in your list. It has history, it has legends, it has incredible architecture, it has beaches, great beaches, it has great food, port wine, you know, it's have nice people there, friendly, and it's quite safe, and also it's not very expensive compared to some other countries, European countries. So actually, this country, at the end of the day, has everything you want. Obviously, I think it's for any taste, for anyone, for any age. You will find just everything out there you can do. So, okay, we were staying in the apartment because it's cheaper than hotels. We don't like to stay in hostels. That could have been cheaper, maybe, I don't know, but it's not really nice, you know, to share, I don't know, toilet and bathroom with some other people and the room. So, and for like 35 days, that's probably not a good idea. So we rented an apartment. I found an apartment right in the middle of Lisbon, which I thought it was absolutely great, because it was on the main street, great street, everything is around. It was just walking distance to mostly everything, absolutely everything. So we didn't rent a car, so we were using public transport, also walking. And so I want to tell you a little bit. I have some notes there because I'm not very good at numbers. So we rented the flat, as I said, for 35 days, and it cost us $1,698, and so it's around $45 a day. So that was quite a good price, I think, because actually apartment was 2-bedroom, so it could accommodate 4, even more than 4, about 6 people, I would think, because it had 2 bedrooms and it had very big living room with huge sofa. Okay, my laptop. Okay, so we spent, I think, okay, it's on the flat is exactly that how much we spent. Everything else, it's not, might be not like 100% correct, because I had some receipts. I had to look at the receipts. I'm not sure if I had them all, but this is what we have. So looks like on transport, on we spent about €100, which includes trip to Sintra and Cascais, And on sightseeing, I think we spent about 60 euros, but we took some tours because we were short in time. My husband was a bit ill and he had the flu, so we lost about week, something and a half, because he couldn't go anywhere, so we were short in time, and that's why we took two tours. One in Evora, and one tour was Knights Templars castles, and one tour I took on my own. It was Obidos, Nazareth, Fatima, Batalha and Alcobaça. So we spent on the tours around $460. Yes, it's in dollars. Okay, so we were most of the time I was cooking at the apartment because we had a cooker there. That was great. And so roughly we spent about 200 euros on groceries. About well, sometimes we were going to restaurants and we spent about 230 euros on restaurants. Also I had to go to hospital, which was an emergency room, and there they charge you in the emergency room. So they charge about 20 euros, plus we had to buy some prescriptions. I think we spent about 10 euros. It wasn't too much, so that was good. Okay, so also we bought some souvenirs and presents for ourselves, for our relatives and friends. So I think we roughly spent about 150 euros on it. And so total my calculations come out with around 200 euros we spent in 35 days. It's without the tours. So together with the tours, it was around 2,350 euros, which is about $3,065. Yes, so if we would say, so we spent about $3,065. It's all including with the presents and the restaurants, transport and flat. So that's all the total cost. So if we will take restaurants, tours and presents, because if for example you would go and you would just rent a flat and the food we spend buying groceries, so that might be around, you can be around $65 a day, I would say. So it's without restaurants, tours and presents, so you'll probably spend about $65. Well, that's how much we spend. But again, it's about roughly, so, and that's also including the accommodation again. So I don't think it was that bad. I think it was quite good price. Maybe not luxury, but also quite comfortable stay we had, and we went most everywhere we wanted, except we didn't make it to wonderful town Porto because we just were short in time. Okay, so I think that's all my expenses. Kinda, yes. Okay, now so now I want to tell you a little bit about Lisbon. Okay, Lisbon, it was great stay. First, of course, I was a bit scared to go to Lisbon because it's a big city and you don't know what you're gonna expect there, if it's safe there. I mean, safety is the most important probably for me because I'm from Russia, and yeah, well, we're not scared of anything, but it's very important. So it's still the Russian thing. It has to be safe any time of the day. That's why we rented a flat right in the middle. It was Rua Augusta. That's they call that like artery, the heart artery of Lisbon. So okay, Lisbon has few districts. So the most important one is a historic. It's like right in the middle. Lisbon is huge, and the historic area, it has okay, districts we were staying were at Rua Augusta. That one was Baixa, so that's the Baixa district. And okay, so I chose that it's in the middle. We know that Lisbon is was built on hills, so if you will go to Lisbon, you will have to walk all the time. It's up, down, stairs, 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 or wonderful trains, not trains, trams, funiculars, which could take you up and down. So I wanted somewhere flat, and Baixo area is probably the only one in the center which is flat. That's why we chose that place. And if you look at it, Baixo is like right in the middle, and then you have Bairro Chiado is more modern kind of place where you have lots of shops and restaurants, especially nightlife. Most of the people would party there in the Baixo Chiado area, which is kind of like upper town. And then from the other side you have a wonderful old district Alfama, which survived the earthquake. We know there was an earthquake in 1755 which destroyed mostly old Lisbon, but Alfama wasn't destroyed. So that's the oldest, and also has stairs, and it's very narrow streets and old houses. You can meet locals there, you can listen fado music. So that's why kind of in Baixo area you are kind of right in the middle. So we mostly didn't use even the transport, because we could just walk everywhere. From Baixo area you can just walk, and it was wonderful. Okay, so what I liked. Okay, so the first impression was actually good. We came in the evening, it was late, but it was really nice to sit on the taxi. We were driving from the airport to Baixo. It took about maybe 10 minutes, 15 minutes, maybe less, I don't know, some like this, and it was really nice to see. It was a bit dark, I couldn't recognize anything, because before that I looked on Google Maps. I always do that, I always search the streets. And the first thing I really liked, it was the tiled pavements, you know, azulejo they called, where it's the tiles and not just pavements. You can find tiles mostly everywhere, on buildings, inside the buildings, tiles, tiles, tiles everywhere. That was a bit different to any other countries I went. Okay, so when we went to our street, it was again late, but it was so nice. So most all restaurants were still open, open cafes, summer cafes. Even it was only March, February, end of February, beginning of March. It was still, the cafes were open, I think at least at midnight or something. So I felt very safe in the area where we were staying. So I would definitely recommend it to everyone. If you will come to Lisbon, I would say Baixo, and that area Baixo, Rua Augusta, especially where we stayed, is just perfect. It's absolutely safe, and it's just great. It has cafes, restaurants, shops, it's just everything around there. Okay, so of course lots of sightseeings you can find already in Lisbon, and São Jorge Castle. Oh, it's the great thing I really like there is Augusta elevator. Augusta elevator. It's the lift, and this you will see if you will walk on Rua Augusta. You will find it. It's just incredible. I really love that that lift, and I think it was built by the student, the Eiffel Tower, who built the Eiffel Tower, and so that's, you can see kind of. It's not same, but you know, it's the same metal structure. So, but it's just great. I think that's the most beautiful lift I ever saw, and it's outside. This is great, which connects the lower town Baixo area with the upper town Chiado Bairro Alto. And what else? Of course, the center is just perfect. Everywhere you walk, you can see different sightseeings. Rocio Square out there. Also, you can go to Miradores. It's the viewpoints where you can see the whole town, just whole town. Some Miradores will be in Alfama area, so you can see the Alfama, old houses, the roofs. You can see Tejuriba. It's just great. Well, another thing I really liked in Lisbon, it's the old trams. I think they're like the oldest trams in Europe, which are still circulating in that way with the old carriages. It's a great experience. We did the trip The holiday number 12 is the most important, which takes you through the town, through all the historical areas, all the historical buildings, and it's like Lisbon Cathedral, and it will take you to São George Castle, it will take you to Bairro Chiado area, around where the Parliament is. So it's a very nice trip, it's a very interesting trip, and if you will go with the tickets, don't buy tickets on the tram because it's very expensive on the tram. So you better just go to the metro station. Metro station is just mostly everywhere there in Sintra, and buy the ticket. And the ticket will cost you, when we went it was 50 cents. So that ticket you keep and you just top it up, and it's much cheaper to use that ticket. You can use it everywhere in all the trams, on the buses. Yeah, well, what else goes there? I think the trains also, I think that the same ticket you use for trains, like to go to Cascais, and I think we went to Sintra also with that ticket. Yes, so that's the best way to travel around, is the public transport, and buy the ticket in metro station. It's just easier. Okay, so where else? I think it's about Lisbon. That's all. You can find. Oh, okay. What I liked the transportation. I liked the lift. I liked all these old trams. Oh, there are also funiculars, like the Gloria one. You will find it. It's all around there in old district Baixa. The Gloria funicular will take you from, it's not Rossio Square, it's the next, after Rossio Square, well, that's Square, the next one if you walk. It will take you up to Chiado Bairro Alto, so you can, like, you know, try to do some of these little trips on funiculars. It's kind of nice, interesting experience, but you can also walk. You don't have to, it's not hard to walk there. I thought it's going to be really, really hard to climb those stairs and the hills. No, it's not that hard. Well, I guess if you're fit and kind of young, it's kind of okay. Maybe you're slightly bit older, then it's better to take the trams if you have a bit problem walkings. But I think like Chiado Bairro Alto, you can go through the tube from the metro station, and escalator, I think it will take you up there. So it's kind of now little thing where you don't have to take funiculars all the time, so you can go through the escalators. And there is also the shop H&M, which also can take you from Baixa. They have escalators to Bairro Chiado area. So, okay, shopping. Let's talk about shopping. It was good. Lisbon has one of the biggest, some resources on the internet says it's one of the biggest shopping centers in Lisbon, in Europe. It's Colomba shopping center. It's huge. Yes, it is. I went there. It's kind of, it didn't impress me like wow. No, it was kind of okay. It has all the shops. It's nice. It's modern. It's very clean. It has lots of restaurants. And it has also cinemas. So if you're up to shops, you can go there and buy probably just everything you need. But it's the same experience you would find in any really European country. So that's why I wasn't hugely impressed. Also, there is another big shopping center, modern, I would say, it's Vasco da Gama shopping center. The only problems with those shopping centers, they are not in the middle of old town or somewhere. You have to take either bus or go by tube because they're a bit far. That's only kind of downside. But if you go to Vasco da Gama, for example, shopping center, there is also a nice park with cable car and aquarium. I think there's a big aquarium out there. Yeah, so you can kind of go and have some rest there, and shopping and eating and just everything. Also, there is a big concert hall in that park. Okay, where shopping center Vasco da Gama, and also it's Oriento train station. The trains from there goes, I think they goes to Porto, actually, to the town, Porto town, and all other ones, Tomar and other towns. Okay, so about food, well, the food was really good. but it was a bit oily for us. We kinda, I don't know, maybe we just picked the wrong place, but we were trying to try some Portuguese food. Also, like the most popular Portuguese food is sardines, and so we were trying different dishes and they just come out a little bit oily for us, so I don't know. Well, usually it's not as much as no, it actually was, yes. I had fish and it was a bit oily, and then I had some chips and they were a bit oily, and we had something else, Portuguese food, I don't remember what exactly. You can find it in my videos, by the way, here. It's one of my videos where I probably say where it was a bit oily, but other than that it was quite good, nice food. It wasn't very expensive. I think we were spending around 30 euros for 2 of us. You can find restaurants just mostly everywhere. I can't recommend you any because it's a lot of them there, and you can find some good deals. If you just look, they have platter of the day, or they might have like 3-course meal deals. We would usually just take in the deals. So we don't like to pay full price, yes, we like to save some money. So yes, you can find some deals out there. And okay, so where else? We were buying some groceries. There are some grocery shops out there also. We were mostly, no, I wouldn't say it was not very expensive food out there. It's kind of reasonable prices, so if you want to save and not go to restaurant every day like we did, so you can just buy groceries. And also, again, it's in Baixa area, it's the Pingo Doce, I call it, but maybe I don't pronounce it properly. I think somebody said it's a bit Pingo Doce or something, I don't know. But yes, there are some supermarkets there in town, so you don't have to, again, take any transportation, you can just walk and buy your groceries. And also I like mostly shopping, of course, in Old Town, because it's kind of more interesting to walk around the small shops, local shops. That's why if you're not really a huge shopaholic, I would say you can find some shops in Baixa and Bairoche, other areas. They're small shops, they're just all over there, everywhere you go. So they're like mixing the shops, cafes, so okay, so that's what I'm saying, it's mostly everything in the center. So it's the best best to do is just to find accommodation, stay somewhere right in the middle, in the center. Okay, okay, so next, what I didn't like. I didn't like, okay, in the restaurants, I didn't really like when you order, before even you order, when you sit at your table, the waiter will bring you the starters. So they bring you bread, olive oil, pate, usually butter, and olives, I think. Yes, and then just put it on your table without saying anything, so you might expect it's kind of complimentary, just like in most other countries, but it's not. If you don't know, after you ordered and had your meal, they'll bring you a check, a bill, and all the starters, like bread, it's all going to be, you have to pay separately. Each item they charge you for: bread, olives, pate, even though like the small pack of pate, they will charge you for everything. And I didn't really like it because they do not tell you about it. So they don't like give it to you and say to you, would you like, if you don't like it, please don't have it. Most of them don't say. Some will saying it. But we already knew that because I researched the internet, of course. So I think most of people would know that. But some people wouldn't. Because I was reading some reviews and people were complaining about it also, because not everybody reading reviews before they go. But here is I didn't really like. I think they should say something before you order it. Okay, the next thing, also I read reviews about people saying that lots of people trying to sell you drugs, and it's kind of like they're just walking around there and they just tell you, oh, you know. Yeah, okay, well, yeah, of course I didn't really like it, but it's not really scary. They don't push you, they're not aggressive. They just kind of like walk a little and just, that's it. You just say no thank you, no thank you, and they just walk away. So it's kind of a bit annoying, but when they like see your face all the time, they just don't bother you anymore. Well, that's kind of, I wouldn't say it was like super scary or anything. It was a bit weird, yes. I never been offered like drugs like this, you know, on the street, so that was a bit weird. Okay, the main thing I didn't really like there is beggars. There's lots of people there begging for money. It just, I've never seen anywhere so many people asking you for money. Probably that's the main thing I didn't really like. But also the people are not, they're not pushy, they're not like, also like, give me the money, give me the money. No, they just like say, well, like, you know, but it's too many, just too many of them, honestly. You know, even if you like give some, it's just, you won't have enough money to give to everyone, to be honest. It's just so many people. And I do understand when it's old people or disabled people, but there were young people doing this, and that's kind of was a bit weird for me too. I didn't really like it when young people are begging you for money. That's, you know, healthy people, young. I just don't know. I don't understand this. Okay, but that's probably, that's all I didn't like in Portugal, probably in Lisbon. Everything else, it was all great and nice. So everything else I enjoyed a lot. So what else? We went to Sintra by ourselves. We didn't take tours. So I would say you definitely, okay, what you have to really visit, definitely visit Sintra. It's just must see. That's probably one of the things why I wanted to go to see Sintra. That's why we were staying in Lisbon, because I wanted to see Pena Palace. It's kind of, to be honest, inside it wasn't as impressive, but from the outside it's just great. I don't think you will find something like Pena Palace anywhere else. I haven't seen anything anywhere else like anything like this. It just was great. I loved it. The colors, it's like a little fairy tale castle. It was really nice. Also, I was so impressed. I never knew, I never heard, I never read anywhere about Quinta da Regaleira. I was so impressed with that place. It was great. Go there. It's just, you will not regret it. You will love it. Love it, love it, love it. It's just, I said in one of my videos, you probably will find out, I said it's the most mysterious place I ever been. It is. It's just absolutely great place. You have to go. It's in the garden. You have to go in the garden. Also, the inside the palace wasn't as impressive, but the garden is just great. It's like now fairyland, you know, like the Alice in Wonderland. If you take kids, they will enjoy it. Just watch them, because there is lots of like not grottos, like, you know, the tunnels. That's it, the tunnels. And I forgot that, you know, the name of that thingy when you go. Oh dear, there's the main, you know, where you usually get the water from. So that was like one of the greatest thing in the garden is that you know, that thingy where you walk. It's like they say it's 9 circles of heaven, hell, and 9 circles of heaven. So if you go through correct, you will find the answers about heaven and hell. Okay, so that was a really great place. Just check it out before you go. It's definitely worth visiting. Absolutely. Okay, now place I was impressed with, that's all the places I was impressed with, is Cabo de Rock. It's great, it's amazing, it's the end of the world, you know, it's the edge, it's the most European place. It's like the earth finishes there, like the European